Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. We'll jump straight into the reading. This is going to be a classic read today. If there's some smog, this is just some sage. It's gonna come down, hopefully. But at least you know that I've smudged the area, I've cleansed the energy so we can get started. And as always, we'll be starting with a quick oracle message. Today it's going to be the Enchanted Map Oracle. By the way, just a reminder, among a lot of different information you can find in the description box on how you can work with me, get in a personal reading, other projects that I'm doing. There's also an Amazon wish list that includes different decks, oracle ones and tarot ones. So if there is a specific deck that you'd like me to be using, you can order it off that list. If it's not on the list, but you just know one that's really cool and you want to gift it to me, you can just let me know or send me the link either in the comments or, send me an email and I will add it to the list so you can do it. It's very convenient, I feel like, ordering them off Amazon that way. And I would personally really appreciate that. And of course, we will utilize it for the channel. So with all that said, don't forget to hit the like button on that video, comment, and of course subscribe if you're new for more readings. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a reading around solar eclipse, specifically for twin flames, because I did that reading for like zodiac signs on my other channel, Mindful Bamboo, but tomorrow I'm gonna look at the energy specifically for the twins, so don't miss that one. Wow, feminines, you got the Goblin card. So what can I tell you about it? It is about confronting your shadow. It is about looking into the dusty corners, into the stagnant energy, whatever that could be for you. Of course, this is a collective read, so I can't dive too deep, but this is one of the themes of the eclipses. And by the way, if you're in my newsletter, I also sent some more insights about the eclipse in that newsletter yesterday, this morning. But yeah, basically we are in the eclipse season. For those who don't know, we are we're not in the middle because that season is closing soon with the solar eclipse, but anyway, we're in the in it. So it's very transformative time, and of course a lot of it is not just kind of arrives to us on a cloud and for us to just enjoy the beauty of it and abundance and whatever else, right? Like that's kind of the carrot on the stick, but a lot of times it looks like a challenge. It looks like some kind of triggering situation that is either testing us or it's highlighting something new to us. So how do you fight the darkness or deal with it? At least you shed some light on it. So bring in light, including awareness, including love and light, and including compassion and healing. Whoa, wow. For masculine Susi number 21, which is filled of dreams. Wow, I love this card so much for many different reasons. I just had to answer a question about my favorite holiday, which I don't really have, honestly, but if I had to choose, Easter would be my favorite holiday, also partly because my birthday is always around Easter time. So like the whole theme was the Easter eggs and just like the religious side of it, of course, the spring awakening as well. Like all of those themes are really dear and near to my heart. Plus 21 is the date when I was born, 21st of April. So for me, like this is like a jackpot of a card to get something like that. It's full of dreams. I mean, seriously. But back to the reading, masculines. I mean, how often do you sit down and see and envision what that field of dreams would be for you? What would be your perfect reality, perfect day? Or maybe you already live in it, you just don't acknowledge it really, right? Like maybe this used to be a dream 5 or 10 years ago. Now you're living a dream, right? And it's about awareness and about appreciation of what you've got, what you've created, or the blessings that poured into your life. The more you emphasize those aspects of abundance and miracles and love in your life, the more of that you're gonna attract into your life. That's one of the main secrets of manifestation. So Universe is asking you, is reminding you about this, so you can attract more of that goodness into your life. I mean, the choice is yours, of course. Okay. I'm gonna use the Thelema deck today again because it's just such a lovely deck. I couldn't resist. Fool at the bottom of the deck. Yes, it is a new beginning. Solar eclipse always happens on the new moon, and new moon energy is by definition a new cycle, you know, a new beginning, but it's going to be amplified like 10 times because it's also an eclipse. And it's the last set of eclipses where we have eclipse in Aries. Well, we're switching signs, so it kind of like lasts, I think it's like 4 eclipses that run on approximately the same axis. So it's like during 2-year cycle or something. So it's like this is final opportunity to learn those lessons. In this case, because the eclipse is in Aries. Oh my god, I'm kind of like jumping ahead because this was going to be part of the eclipse reading, but I guess I have to say it. You know, this is our last opportunity basically to learn those lessons about identity, what makes you happy, what your needs are, da-da-da-da-da. 10 of Wands, yeah. So in order to have that new beginning that we just saw with the Fool, you need to drop the burdens, let yourself lift up. If you imagine a balloon, a hot air balloon, right, that's kind of the point. They have all those weights, like usually bags with sand, inside, you know, and they start like, for an actual takeoff, they might just like, you know, take the anchor off. Maybe sometimes it's enough, depends on the weather and on the hot air balloon. But then you still, in order to get to a certain height, you still usually need to get some of that weight off, like a ballast, you know, or even during the journey, if the conditions change, you may need to get rid of some of the bags of sand to lift you up or to maintain the height, right? So it's a very necessary procedure. And ideally, if you're living a mindful life, that could be a usual, almost daily routine, or at least like a weekly or at least monthly routine where you visit what is in my life right now that I don't need, that's only pulling me down, and what I need to leave behind, even if it's sad to do so. Feminines, your energy is 7 of Wands clarified by Page of Wands. Oh, this is getting out of your comfort zone and taking steps, even if it's too daunting or you feel stupid doing it, whatever it is. Could be a new hobby, a new, oh my god, what's the word that's in my head? Occupation, maybe a new relationship even, you know, where you feel like you're supposed to take the first step and initiate. And it's not in your wheelhouse, it's not what you're used to doing, right? Like whatever that is, that's a challenge that you're asked to take on, head on. Hell yeah. Wow, for the masculines, we see the Empress and Queen of Wands. We started seeing those queens in the recent readings where the masculines are seeing the feminine energy in a different way. And if you remember, some of it was about reframing and reconsidering the context. Like maybe like those opinions and that mindset that I had about feminine was just a belief. Maybe it was just a story because that's how I experienced it. But it doesn't have to be that way always, you know. That's not what the integrated feminine energy is, right? So it's like shaking up the convictions, and the convictions usually aren't really aren't questioned, they're just followed, right? And a lot of it, like all of us have those on some level at least, because that's how a brain operates. It likes to put as much as possible into the automated process or autopilot, so we don't have to spend a lot of effort thinking over stuff every single time, right? But this is now bringing it into attention and into that conscious space. Like, what is the quintessential feminine energy, and what is the feminine energy who's a light worker, right? This is a bit of a witch quality for the Queen of Wands here, especially with this black cat. And again, there's so much stigma around those kind of archetypes in the history of time, right? And in different times they were either worshipped or they were, burnt on a bonfire, and cursed and whatever, right? So there's still a lot that's left, even again if it's on the subconscious level. And don't even get me started on the generational karma, where we got a lot of that. Like imagine if, if my ancestors were persecuted or they did like exercise violence towards women, for example, right? It may still live through me and through my energy, and I would need to handle that, even if I personally haven't done anything like that. But this is part of the karma that lives on, and that we also touched upon yesterday when we had the ancestor message, and we saw that the masculines were actually healing something, some generational karma, something from their lineage. So the topic of the feminine energy is in the focus right now, and there's a lot that's being reframed and reconsidered. Additional question for today is Nine of Swords, clarified by Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, very interesting energy, but what I see here is there's an open question right now for the twins on how do I pursue my path of abundance? How do I become more successful and have more resources to support my living and that of my loved ones, and also to keep expanding, right? For my life to expand, right? How do I still stay in integrity with myself, my beliefs, my values and everything, without like sounding either cheap or manipulative, right? Like, I don't want people to take advantage of I don't want people to take advantage of me, but I also don't want it to feel like because I'm an empath, I'm a psychic, I'm a this, I'm a that, whatever that is, maybe a more 3D version of that, like that I can take, because I'm knowledgeable in this area, that I can charge them a lot of money, and that sometimes feels like I'm taking advantage of their situation, that's what it is. What do the feminines need to know? Wow, Ace of Swords and King of Pentacles. Wow. First of all, like immediately what I get from this, like there is a couple here. You see, Queen and Queen, beautiful. If you are being authentic and honest in this approach, then, that's the kind of clients that you will attract who will honestly need your help with this. You will match, you will align in that energy field. You have something to offer and they need that from you, right? It's like almost like you're on the market. Like if you actually produced something and you sold that product, you wouldn't feel guilty for taking money for it, right? And this is similar way, even if it's a service, even if it seems like maybe you shouldn't charge them for it or whatever, maybe not so much, maybe whatever those maybes are, right? Like this is part of our truth and part of the experience, a quintessential experience you're supposed to receive in this lifetime on planet Earth. Not to mention, I also see, because it's a couple now, the king and the queen, that's also something that will be attractive for the masculine. Not in terms of like, oh, you're now earning a lot of money and that's attractive to them. No, but when you are in your own, element, that's attractive to them. When you are being successful and making money and you're not afraid to step forward, that will be inspirational for them and will attract them on so many different levels. Masculines, they have the Hermit and Two of Pentacles was there yesterday, I remember clearly. Yeah, so for the masculines, this is like if there's anxiety, if there is worry about building abundance, whatever the frame of the question is, however you phrase it, it's important to really look within, look for that wisdom. What feels right to me, what feels good, and what do I know deep down, in my soul, in my heart, in my very essence. And that's how you make a choice when you have doubts, right? This is the way to go. And then you also become a guiding light for someone else, and it has that triple effect. How are the feminines seeing the connection at this time? Queen of Wands and the Sun. So we also have a synchronicity of the Queen of Wands because we had it for the masculines at the beginning. Love the Sun. Yesterday we had it for the masculines, I think. The main card is Queen of Wands though. So feminines know that in order for this to be, and this is a masculine figure, it's a boy figure. Feminines know that this union is gonna bring the bliss, it's gonna bring ultimate happiness, it's gonna help heal a lot of patterns on both sides, for DM and for DF. Like, it's like we're complementary in a way that we can help, like, support each other's healing. But more than anything right now, there's focus on who I am as a person, as a light worker, you know, as a woman, like, you know, whatever, wife figure. It doesn't even have to be a woman, but, you know, like, as a feminine in social setting. What do I stand for? Where is my power? And where, like, what am I excited about at this time? So the feminine is focusing on that, but knowing in the background this connection is still so important, right? And it's gonna be a celebration when it happens, and it's gonna be blissful, but I'm not just gonna sit around and wait for it. I'm gonna continue building my life and finding that spark and spreading the joy and the light. For masculines, we have two major arcanas, and this is number 5 and 10. Very interesting, right? How it kind of like, it's like mid-cycle and then complete cycle. The Hierophant and the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune is kind of like trusting in the universe and that sort of thing. Like, I'm trusting. The Hierophant is more about societal roles and hierarchy. It's also partly about faith and trust, like, but it's more connected to religion, first of all, and second of all, it's still about how is that represented by specific figures in our reality, right? Like the priests, for example, maybe the nuns, the monks, you know, like actual human beings who walk among us. So for the masculines, I'm hearing, especially because there's some major arcanas, there are big questions that are being asked of them, what their belief system is when it comes to intuitive guidance and, you know, the universe's plan or the divine plan and how that unfolds versus religion, and, you know, how is that represented for us, right? Like, are we religious, like we're actually following a certain specific religion, or do we believe in signs and synchronicities, or do we have guides and angels, or do we work with mediums and psychics who then can help us, you know, whatever that is. Like, those beliefs are now questioned and challenged. And maybe on the first at first look, it doesn't look like it's somehow connected to the connection and to the relationship with the feminine, but it actually is, because ultimately shaking up of that, and that's like the spoiler alert here, the plot twist, because, you know, these views are going to change. That's the whole point. But once they are more settled in, they are more clear, they're more understandable, and masculines feel comfortable with them, then it's going to be a lot easier to kind of build from there, you know, build that system of values, of priorities, of communication with the ethers and with the divine, and understanding like how that maps out then to this connection and to the relationship with the DF. I love this very much. Very interesting reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If so, don't forget to like and to leave your comment, and of course to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I love you all, and